Courtside back in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio tonight.
So much action on the hardwood recently. I'm sure our sports staff cannot wait to get these things going. Let's toss it over to Cody Goodwin, who is standing by. Cody.
Thank you, ladies. Cody Goodwin flying solo in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio for our first installment of Courtside in 2014. Plenty to get to tonight, so we'll start the program in Evanston, where the Hawks and Cats, of course, did battle in the Windy City over the weekend. And despite a surprisingly slow start from Fran McCaffrey and company, the 10th-ranked Hawkeyes came out on top in this one, 76-50. For all the analysis and reaction, we'll toss it over to our full-court press boys in 3, 2, 1.
Ben Ross, Josh Bolander from the Airliner Bar and Grill in downtown Iowa City. Full court press back in action. Hell of a week for the Hawks on the hardwood. Ben, crazy game against Minnesota last Sunday. Ranked in the top 10 for the first time since 2002 on Monday, only to lose at Michigan on Wednesday. Come back, big win on Saturday. Thoughts from the week that was, Ben?
Yeah, you know, Michigan, they're probably playing like the best basketball in the entire Big Ten, so that loss is a little bit understandable. Northwestern, pretty sloppy first half, 10 turnovers, but really turned it on the second half and just put the Wildcats away.
Yeah, Fran McCaffrey and the boys plenty to say on Saturday after the game in Evanston.
I didn't think defensively against Michigan we were as good as we should have been, and I felt like if we could refocus and really commit ourselves and play defense the way we're capable, we could have a great day, and we did.
I think the last game, something that went unnoticed was that the bench only had, I think, 8 or 6 points, and I felt like we need to do a lot more of that. So the bench guys just felt that we should give a lot more energy, just try and do the little things, running the floor, showing hard on ball screens, rebounding. That translated into some pretty good stats for us across the board.
You know, we got a strike on our back, so we just wanted to come in and play with just as much intensity and more, and I think we did that today.
Aaron White, Devin Marble, huge second halves in successive games at Northwestern and, of course, earlier in the week against Michigan, but pretty much ghosts in the first half of both those games. That even goes back to last Sunday against Minnesota, Ben. Yeah. Is this something that worries you moving on and going forward?
No, I'm really not too worried. Yes, they were virtually non-existent in the first half of those games. Then they really turned it on the second half, though, and really, made up for lost time, more or less. And those guys are combined for over 200 points in the Big Ten alone right now. Iowa needs them. At least they are showing up. It's better than nothing, Josh.
And, of course, it wouldn't be a full court press without mentioning that the Iowa women's basketball team won their 4th out of their last 5 against Indiana the other night, 84-75 the final in that one. Ben, huge games from a couple of Hawks.
Yeah, Bethany Doodle, 7 career blocks. Iowa's big man, or woman rather, she's doing pretty well. And Morgan Johnson, who graduated last year, filling up her pretty big shoes. Iowa's looking pretty good. Hot fire, like you said, 4 of the last 5.
Obviously, thank you again to the Airliner Bar and Grill. Huge game coming up on Tuesday night in Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Michigan State Spartans heading to Iowa City. Ben, prediction for that one?
You'll have to wait until Tuesday to hear that one.
All right, Ben Ross, Josh Bolander, the Full Court Press. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gabe and Roy Dev with big games Saturday, but our courtside player of the week, well, that's Josh Oglesby. And what do you know? Our player insider Rachel Bedell caught up with the sharpshooter late last week.
Hi, I'm here with Josh Oglesby, player of the week. During your last home game, you're getting really pumped up the crowd, hitting all those shots. How did it feel hitting all those threes?
It felt really good, especially in a sellout crowd in Carver. The place was rocking, and we came away with a 2-1.
Peter Jock kind of filled in for you when you had your injury. What was that competition like once you started coming back?
It was good competition. Peter's a good friend of mine, and just to see him come in here and mature as a freshman and just adapt to college basketball and see what it's like and how well he played was something special for him and our team too.
Being from Cedar Rapids, every game's pretty close to home for you. Did you have any kind of crazy reactions from your family or friends after the Minnesota game?
It was just really neat because this was the first game my grandparents came down for this year, and to play that well in front of them was pretty special to me.
And lastly, I have to ask you about your little 3 that you started once you started scoring those 3 shots. So where did that come from? And
I used to give Zach crap for it all the time because he'd always do it. And then, I hit my 3rd 3, and I saw Zach looking at me, so, I figured I'd just do it as a joke.
For Josh, I'm Rach Bedell. Back to y'all at the studio.
Congrats, Josh, and thank you, Rachel, for that report. Unfortunately, we are out of time for tonight, but before we throw it back to the desk, Jalen Socek and Taylor Axelson with Courtside's newest segment, 5 Things. Ladies, take it away.
Hello and welcome to the first edition of 5 Things. I'm Taylor Axelson.
And I'm Jalen Socek. Each week we're going to count down 5 new facts on Iowa basketball to give you guys a whole new insight on the team. So let's get to it.
Right now, Fran and company are ranked 10th in the nation. The last time this happened was 12 years ago in 2002.
That's right, Taylor. So what was happening back in 2002? Well, Jeff Horner was happening. The Hawkeye freshman would go on to hit 232 threes in his time in Iowa City. That's top in the Iowa record book.
Now, the team is being led by the power duo of Aaron White and Devin Marble, who this season are averaging a combined 30 points a game.
Steve Alford, the coach of the team back in 2002, and if you take a look at the first 4 years under Alford compared to Fran McCaffrey, the numbers are actually similar.
That's right, Jalen. Under Alford, the Hawks were 80 and 67 those first 4 years, and right now, Fran is 70 and 54 halfway through his 4th season.
We'll give Fran the edge when it comes to the difficulty of the conference, though.
And finally, off the court, where the last time Iowa was ranked inside the top 10, Spider-Man was the biggest box office hit that year.
Also, Nelly's Hot in Here was topping the charts, and another fun one, how much was gas back then?
$1.61. Don't you wish gas was that cheap nowadays?
I sure do, but that's all we have for you today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back to you guys at the desk.